guys, welcome to our channel. Today we're going to be talking about SAAS and the experiment we're doing at Hite Digital, one of the fastest growing agencies in the US right now. And I have with me the CEO and founder, JC Hite, who also happens to be my husband. So interviewing him is a first for both of us. Now, to give everybody a little bit of a background, Hite Digital is implementing SAAS as a new product, and we're going to be documenting it all. And I want to start this process by asking you, JC, how do you make the decision?
How do we make the decision? You know, for us, it was tough, right? Because like we have 115 employees at Hite. We're growing like crazy, and here's this new like SaaS thing coming up, right? And Sean and I had talked before. Obviously, you and I had talked many times, and Sean asked me the other day, and he was like, dude, why haven't you gone? And I told him the truth. Like, dude, I'm a slow adopter. I like to watch what everyone else is doing, and if they succeed, then I'll figure out how to do it better. But I am never like the first to market, because honestly, people that are first to market, those are the people that get eaten by sharks, you know? Like I like to be very slow. And so, but now we're at this point where I'm seeing the traction. I'm understanding, and I'm seeing a lot of people fail with it, but I'm also seeing a lot of people succeed. And I think we can do it really well. I'm a little scared. I'm a little nervous, but all in all, I think it's time. And I'm really excited about this test, because not only are we going to do it, not only getting your help, but we're documenting that whole process so we can really understand like where we went wrong.
Yeah.
And
that's going to be awesome. I wanted to like also for everybody to know like how are you thinking that this is going to turn out? Like, what's the goal? What are you seeing in the first like 30, then to 90 days? Like what is the expectation there?
Man, this is tough, because I think we can honestly hit like these new projects. They scare me, because part of me wants to get really excited and pumped up, and it's like, we're going to take on the world. And then part of me's like, no, it's okay. Like, chill, right?
Let's be humble about it.
Let's relax, right? I would be really excited if we could get about 100 users in the first 90 days. 100 users, what is that? Let's say an ARPA of around $200 a month. That's 20,000. It's what? It's $250,000 in annual revenue. What excites me more is the margins. So it's really high margins, which means I'm going to have more cash to put into our team, into our development, our education, our culture. And then also the churn, right? Like churn is, we're really interested in making moves that impact our churn, right? So like with PPC, we experience around 8%. With Facebook ads, around freaking like 20%. With SEOs, around 5%. And can CRMs actually bring that whole model down, right?
Yeah.
So how do we leverage the CRM to impact the total book of business?
And also this is going to impact another area of the business, which is the franchise side, right? Like we're expecting for this to generate an impact there. So can you talk to me a little bit more? Because we have been talking about the franchise model that, you know, Hite is doing in other videos, but I think it's relevant to like how we're implementing SaaS as well. It's a little bit different than most agencies are doing.
Well, the whole franchise model is actually unique. I don't think anybody's doing out there yet, but it's getting a lot of attraction to a lot of people, and it's been really exciting. You know, the biggest thing with franchising as a whole is going, okay, how can we build something together much larger, much greater, much more expensive, much more robust, but yet so much more affordable? Because when you allocate those expenses across the whole pie, it actually is way cheaper, right? So like, for example, our Hite as an internal, we're fully built on Salesforce, and like we're really big into Salesforce. Correct. We want to get to 1,000 employees, and we believe it's the perfect platform for that division of our company. Salesforce is stupid expensive. I think we've done the math.
Crazy,
it's
yeah.
Like, we've probably gotten close to $1 million invested just in our tech alone with Salesforce. But if you divide that out between all of our franchisees, we're paying like $20 a user, right? So it's super cheap now that we have it all built out. And so with SaaS, it's kind of the same thing that Go High Level has done, and Sean and Robin and those guys have built, is like, okay, it's that same concept, but even at the platform level, right? And so for us, we're really excited about how can we take this to local markets throughout the U.S. We have local feet on the ground in Austin, in Houston, in Dallas. We have Phoenix. We have San Francisco. We have Little Rock, Miami. We have, I'm missing locations, but how do we get people right on the ground that are actually going into these small businesses, and we're hooking them on something so affordable? I think What did you suggest?
We're still working on the plans, but I think it's going to be $97, just like the default.
It's $97. So it's super cheap. And then we get them on that. And now the opportunity to upsell them to SEO, to pay-per-click, and some of our more expensive, services is going to be really crucial, right? Because our ARPA right now at the franchisee level is probably around $1,500 to $1,600, right?
Yeah.
Depending on the franchise. So to sell a $100 offer is like, okay, that's exciting. I'm making $50. But how does that then jump us to those bigger offerings where we can make $1,000, $2,000, right?
And I think like implementing this, as you mentioned, it is sort of scary right now for us because we are all about quality. And so if we cannot deliver quality right off the bat, I think that's something that scares us, but we're working on creating that customer journey that's going to allow us to, impact those agencies and our franchisees, and the business in general that are going to acquire the system in a way that they're able to, make their lives easier. That's the goal. Now, I do have a question, what do you think it's going to be the biggest difficulty or, what scares you about this in the future? Can you talk to us about that?
So I think... again, I think every agency has a little bit different goals, right? And so some people are, and I'm jealous of them in some ways, or have this like nomadic lifestyle, right? Like I want to make $20,000, $30,000 a month, and then I want to be, good, right? Yeah. For us, it's to create stability, right? In a very chaotic world. And so, we're on this mission to create 1,000 jobs. And so probably my biggest fear, honestly, is within GHL itself, right? Like what happens if they up the price tomorrow to $200 a user? What happens if the infrastructure goes down? What happens if we don't own this tech, right?
Correct.
At the end of the day, we don't have control. They can do whatever they want. It's a privately held company, right? And so probably my biggest fears are around that. But I think that then goes back to me and how we're doing this business, right?
Yeah.
So as obviously we don't have any debt in Hite. We don't have any debt in Hite. We make sure our margins are solid. We invest, try to be as safe with our investments as possible so that as we're building this up, we cannot make it where we want to scale, but we also want to save through this process as well. So if anything happens, they may have to change something. It may not be necessarily a negative thing. I'm not saying that Sean, he's going to watch this video probably, but I'm not saying that he's out there, I'm going to just up the price, but shoot, maybe tech changes and the whole expense changes or there's new laws or we have to be prepared from our end to make sure that we're safe and secure, right? So my biggest fears there are probably around the unknown and then just making sure that as we grow and scale, we're always looking at every part of our business, not just this, but every part of our business going, okay, what happens if SEO changed tomorrow? What happens if Google released a new platform tomorrow? Or to be frank, their tech and AI was better than anyone managing the AdWords account. Everyone would cancel, right? And so how do we just protect ourselves as much as possible? And so this gets in, we have a head of leadership development, Jose Bolaños here at Hite, and all of his stuff is around, is it safe to fail, right? What is the worst thing that could happen? And for us, I see a huge potential. We just need to make sure that if it fails, if the project goes under, if for whatever reason, I don't know, GHL gets bought by Salesforce and they just turn it off. I don't think it'll happen. But worst case scenario, are we still okay? Right? And I think that's probably just for business, any business. How are we making decisions there?
Yeah. And I think one of the biggest advantages here that we have, and I think it's worth pointing it out, yesterday I was just talking to Sean about it, you're different, Hite Digital is different than many agencies in the fact that most agencies have most of their experience in just digital marketing. And we have had, thank goodness, the experience on implementing projects. So, with our background in Salesforce and implementing now Go High Level for multiple agencies, I think we're over 100 agencies that we have implemented it for. How can we take that experience and create a customer journey that is going to allow us to increase the user adoption, to make sure that they are really getting value, not only out of the features that Go High Level already does an amazing job, at providing, thank goodness we don't have to really work on the tool. I think it's more of making sure that the client, the end user is able to get advantage, get all the benefits from those features. So I think that's going to be something that's going to change, how we're doing this in a positive way. And, I'm super excited. I'm super pumped about this project. Everybody, I think as well, it's a scary thing. Everybody's like, oh, wow, we're doing another product at Hite, but there's a lot of excitement in this.
I think we have 10 people fully dedicated to this project alone. I think, we're going to put everything in our power. And the cool thing about it, I think, for Digital AC Hacker community, for your community, is going, okay, what do we learn? What do we do wrong? How do we screw it up? What would be different? And like really documenting this whole process. I'm excited to be a part of it. I'm excited to see where it could head. I'm excited to see the leverage that it can bring to agencies and the security through lowering the churn, through increasing lifetime value, because I think ultimately this industry is a very unstable industry. There's just as many agencies failing as there is halfway succeeding. And the more we can bring stability through a product like this, I think the better for everyone.
Well, thank you so much again. This is like our first interview, me interviewing you.
You and me together.
You and me together. So thank you so much for this time. Again, we're super excited to go into this experiment. You know, it's a safe to fail test that we're doing, and watch the next videos as we're gonna go and jump into this. How do we set it up? How do we create landing pages that are converting this? You know, how is our team having discussions internally on how to set this up so we can all learn together and adjust and adapt and see how it turns out. So yeah.
Catch. Sorry.
See you guys soon. See you in the next video.